Hey guys, I just replaced this corroded water heater pipe with a brand new PEX line. The old copper pipe was full of pinhole leaks and looked like it had spent some time on the Titanic. This thing was covered in coral. Of course, that's not really coral. It's mineral deposits from years of hard water, limescale, and calcium buildup. First thing was to turn off the main water line and drain the pipes. Then, turned off the water heater. I started cutting the pipe at the far end with an adjustable manual pipe cutter. This was a bit tedious to cut and probably the most difficult part about this whole job. If you don't like the abuse and you want to make your life a little easier, I would recommend using an automatic pipe cutter, although those typically only come in one size, so you will need to buy the appropriate sized one for the pipes you are cutting. We are replacing about 25 feet of copper hot water line from the water heater with 3/4 inch PEX, and since all connections are exposed, we're using SharkBite pushing connectors, which will save us a lot of time. Master plumbers can charge anywhere from $150 to $400 for a job like this, depending on where you live. This only took about an hour to complete, and we charged $200 all said and done. Materials ran about $80. Check out the description below to see a breakdown of all the tools and materials we used. I finally got to the pipe, and Dan was there to catch the water with a 5-gallon bucket. Thanks, Dan. Moving on to the other side of the pipe at the water heater end, cutting this in the same fashion, turning and tightening the pipe cutter a half turn every rotation around the pipe. I did end up sanding down some of the surface corrosion with a fine 120 grit sandpaper so that the SharkBite would fit on nicely. Once that was done, the old copper pipe was completely detached and ready to be taken down. All straps and hangers were loosened and removed, and we hacked the rest of it out so we could get it out around the existing pipes and wires in the ceiling. With the old pipe completely removed, I got to work installing the new line. Starting with the 3/4 inch SharkBite coupling on the water heater end, I pressed that on firmly, ensuring it was pressed in 100% of the way. I then measured and cut my PEX piece for the vertical portion of the run. Slapped on a 3/4 inch 90-degree SharkBite for the horizontal transition, and installed the other end into the 3/4 inch coupling. There we go. I then fed a 10-foot stick of PEX over to the water heater and firmly shoved it into the 90-degree SharkBite. Instead of using a 90-degree elbow for this next length, the homeowner opted to use a regular 3/4 inch coupling and make a sweeping bend in the PEX to get around the corner. I guess this provides a little more slack and flexibility in the line, but I'd personally recommend using another 90 here. For the last connection, I used a final 3/4 inch SharkBite coupling to complete the new PEX line to the existing copper line. So while these SharkBites are pretty pricey and add a bit to the material cost, the time saved on the install is worth it. Plus, you don't have to buy all the fancy tools required for every single different kind of application. But here you have the final install. All that's left is to add pipe supports every few inches along the new run, and of course, turn the water back on and fire up the water heater. Hope this video was able to provide some money-making motivation for you. See ya!